for the match. Double 16.
Big moments in this opening game.
That's awkward.
Game.
That's
Shot
in.
on the match.
What
Charlie
a
Large.
find for your final dart of the game as Charlie Large beats Felix Schertz by 4 legs to 1. And that puts him now on to 10 points in the group. It puts him in a very promising position in the group as he continues to stamp his authority on Group C. Coming up after the break, we're going to see Keelan Kay in action for the first time today. He takes on Jeff Murray.
Not going to get it now.
57. Jeff
Ties it up
12.
nicely, and it's Jeff Murray now then for double 6 to make it the same scoreline as it was yesterday in the corresponding fixture.
Game.
And he does
Shot
it.
on the
Second
match.
dart.
Jeff Murray.
Relieved it is for Jeff Murray. He knows that's big to get him back in to this Group C standings and give himself a chance of finishing in the top 2. Here are the averages. Nothing too much to shout about in the averages. And 4 from 23, Jeff Murray will not be pleased with, but that's probably what's affected his average. We're heading to a short break, and we will be back afterwards with the last game of this Series 3, Nico Blum versus Thomas Banks.
14
Game shot on
is
the
found,
first leg.
and Blum
Nico
will
Blum.
pinch the pocket of Banks, 1-0.
Thomas Supercar 80.
Move this game up, double 10.
Game shot on the
Desmond,
fourth leg.
2-2.
Thomas Banks. Toyota 40.
And he hasn't.
Game
And
shot on the
Nico
match.
Blum
Nico
finds
Blum.
the tots, and have a look at what it means to him. He was put through it there by Thomas Banks. An improved performance from him, and he knows how important that could be because he's seen his rivals around him drop points, and he has managed to find a win. A relieved man as he leaves the stage. A 4-2 victory against Thomas Banks with an average of 78.33, 4 from 14 on the doubles. He now is in pole position for that second spot. Next up, it is the league leader, Charlie Large, in action when he takes on Jeff Murray, who's making a spurt of his own.
Important now that Charlie Large gets himself a dart at a double and makes no mistake. With that dart where it is next to the treble 20, that's better for him.
Game shot on
And
the
that is
second leg.
exactly
Charlie
why.
Large.
We can see the problem with the previous leg where
25.
92.
having a good think about this. And Charlie, whatever you do, make a decision and go with it. Don't change halfway through. Oh,
Game
my
shot on the match.
word.
Charlie Large.
What a way for 92. The table topper, Charlie Large, really does the business. It's a 4-2 win against somebody who really was going to pressure him for top of the table. The averages mean nothing in this one, but the impressive thing there, the checkout, Charlie Large, 4 from 6 again. But for me, that special dart hitting the 25 when left on 84, won him leg 5 and made him 3-2 up. That was the story of the game for me. Smart move from the young man. We'll be back shortly with Felix Schertz versus Thomas Banks.
2 darts at tops. Now double 10. It's found for Thomas Banks, and it's a 4-0 victory, and it's a sigh of relief as he gets his first win of the group. A real sporting acknowledgement by his opponent, Felix Schertz, and Banks is on the board with a 4-0 win. An average of 84.5, 3 maximums in there, 4 out of 12 on the finishing. Banks on the board. He beats Felix Schertz 4-0, and that means the game between Kay and Blum has that added bit of importance.
Blum, although Keelan Kay, 81 after 9, not too shabby.
Game shot on the first
Finds double
leg.
13 for a 12 dart leg to start. We said that this was a pivotal match for the Lord of the board, and he has got off to the perfect start. He would have felt...
He fluffed his lines. 130 will be a big, big ask.
and too big of one in the
Nico
end.
car 10.
And so double 5 for Nico Blum. For victory number
Game shot on the match,
5.
Nico Blum.
That puts him on to 10 points. He gets the better of Keelan Kay by 4 legs to 2, who may well have seen his chances of going through to tomorrow night's final begin to evaporate. It's all business-like for Nico. A little bit of a celebration there as he departed the stage, but he knows it's all business-like now. An average of 85.44 and 25% on the doubles, the difference in that one. So he gets the better of Keelan Kay by 4 legs to 2. That's the end of round 2 for the day. Coming up after the break is Thomas Banks, it's Jeff Murray. And Murray, you feel, needs to have done that a few times today, Jeff Murray. Thomas Banks here is looking at double 18 for a 110 finish. And it's the first ton-topping finish of the day for Thomas Banks. In fact, in the whole group, 1-0 lead. A 2-1 lead. And bullseye first. And so that means double 10.
Game shot on
And
the
that's a
third leg.
superb
Thomas
take
Banks.
for Thomas Banks. We hadn't seen a ton plus checkout before this game began. We've now seen 2 from Thomas to win his
Ball fake,
first
Jeff
2
to throw
legs.
First. Game on.
To be, and so Banks.
121.
Well, this would be for a third ton topper of the match if he could take out the 121. And he can find it if he gets a double
Game shot on the
14.
fourth leg. Thomas
This
Banks.
is an exhibition of finishing from Thomas. Tops.
Game shot on the
Bound.
sixth leg.
3-3
Jeff
it is.
Murray.
We go all the way.
Jeff, your car 8.
And Jeff Murray comes back now for double 4 to put himself on to 8 points.
Game shot on the
And
match.
8
Jeff Murray.
points it will be for Jeff Murray. He had to survive a real scare there from Thomas Banks, who looked as if he was going to get the game won himself. But Jeff Murray keeps himself in the equation. He keeps himself in the mix. A 4-3 victory against Thomas Banks with an average of 85.13 and 33% when it came to the finishing. Thomas Banks' 3 legs were all won with ton plus checkouts, the highest of which a 121. We're going to take a short break, and when we return, Charlie Large can seal his qualification through to the final on Saturday evening and can probably stop Keelan Kay from getting there when we return after this short break.
Large just sat there on 58
59.
now.
Charlie
Keelan
O'Carr,
Kay, no
58.
real pressure. Will be big 18 and double top. Qualification. Qualification on this one.
Game shot
And
on
there
the
it
match.
is.
Charlie
It's a
Large.
win for Charlie Large. He's come here this morning, done exactly what he needed to do. Large just sat there on 58
59.
now.
Charlie
Keelan
O'Carr,
Kay, no
58.
real pressure. Will be big 18 and double top. Qualification. Qualification on this one.
Game shot
And
on
there
the
it
match.
is.
Charlie
It's a
Large.
win for Charlie Large. He's come here this morning, done exactly what he needed to do. He now knows, you can see the smile on his face. It's not about the averages, although fair to middling game there. An 83 average and 81 for Keelan Kay. Keelan Kay's problem there, 1 from 10, but Charlie Large, no such problem, 4 from 9 on the checkouts. We head into a short break and we will come back with Nico Blum versus Felix Schurt. Risky hitting the 18 that close to the ball, but fair play.
Oh, no.
Game
Oh,
shot on the
yes!
second leg. Nico Blum.
Oh, that's a little bit cheeky, but that's what we've come to expect from the to win against the man at the top of the table. Double 8 now. What can he see of it?
Game shot on the
Enough.
match. Thomas
And
Banks.
Thomas Banks, the man at the bottom of the table, has beaten the man at the summit. Charlie Large beaten, but it's not going to stop him from going through to tomorrow night's final. That was a lovely little sign of respect there between 2 young players who may well be battling each other on hockeys like this for many a year to come. Thomas Banks, a 4-2 winner with an 80.15 average, 4 out of 8 when it came to the finishing. He beats Charlie Large by 4 legs to 2. And coming up after the break, Nico Blum needs just a couple of legs against Jeff Murray to confirm his place in tomorrow night's final. Sadly, it all
45.
changes again because if Blum takes out the 45, he's a leg away from the final. Double 16.
Game shot
And
on
now
the
Blum's
fourth
on the
leg.
hill.
Nico Blum.
When he should have been beaten, he should have been drugged to nil. And if he breaks Murray here,
Looks like Jeff to throw first. Game
he's
on.
out.
Red.
he does go conventional. Shovel 16. For double 16 to go
84.
through.
Jeff your car 32.
This for the match.
Game shot on the match.
And Jeff Murray is still there. He's still in the equation. He beats Nico Blum by 4 legs to 1. He is hanging on by the skin of his teeth. Murray through 4-1. Blum made to wait. Not been a classic, but Murray's still in with a chance. Next up, Kay and Shirts.
So I think he'll enjoy a lakeside. He's going to wait here and see if this 160 goes.
Game shot on the third leg. Felix Schutter.
Shaking the head going, where has this been all week?
And retrieve
Finish your
it.
car 58.
May not be able to retrieve the situation because Nico Shirts has missed a big number.
Full wall, surely. It's got to go through traffic.
40. Killing your car 55.
Wasn't to be, so Keelan Kay then. 55, double top.
Game shot on the match. Keelan Kay.
It's a match, Keelan Kay. We felt it was a dead rubber, but for Keelan, he'll be happy with the win. Doing the right thing on the double. Score him, let him down a little bit there. That's what's affected him, but 4 from 6. If he'd have been like that all week, he'd have been a contender to get out of this Group C. We're going to head into a short break. When we return, can Nico Blum get the leg he needs against Charlie Large?
38. Charlie O'Connor
Still not leaving
64.
a finish. Large's got all the time that one man wants. Oh, and he's made a mess of it. He's made an absolute hash of that.
Well, Charlie, I would say if you're going to decide, oh, you're going to make a mess of it,
60.
now's the time.
Charlie
While
O'Connor
your
41.
opponent back on 166, and now it's time to tidy it up, young man.
Game shot on the first leg.
He
Charlie
duly
Large.
does, and this is what he's been doing all week. That's why he's top of the group. I think that makes him top of the group now. Can't
Second
be
leg,
caught
Charlie to
with
throw
just the one
first.
leg.
Game on.
He's on
Nico
the brink
O'Connor,
of their
82.
particular pride here. Blum to go through. The ball leaves double 16.
shot on the second
And there's
leg.
going to
Nico
be
Blum.
some flower power on Saturday night. Nico Blum is in to the finals on debut.
Third leg, Nico to
Charlie
throw
Large
first.
has acknowledged
Game
that
on.
fact. A nice
Treble 19 now will leave him a shot at double 16. Been very successful on double
Game shot
16
on the
this
third
week.
leg. Charlie
And he's
Large.
successful once again in another ton plus.
finish. A bit of a fanfare, not this time. And so Blum will come back for double 18 to
85. Nico O'Connor 33.
reduce the deficit back down to 3-2. Double 9. Inside, and he's
28.
furious with
Charlie O'Connor
himself.
55.
Charlie Large. Double 15. And so that means 25 remaining. Pick your fighter. 9 for double 8.
39. Nico
This
O'Connor
is
8.
outside. Blum's back.
No score. Charlie O'Connor 16.
Not to be this time for Blum, so
Game
Charlie
shot on the
Large
match. Charlie Large.
wins the match 4-1. It confirms he will be top of the table. It always also confirms that Nico Blum goes through in second place. Here are your averages. It was a bit tense and nervous at the front. Both players needing something from the game, and they both got it. We will return after the break with Thomas Banks versus Keelan Kay.
2.
This is for the break. Can I have one of them? Leads himself tops.
Game shot on the
Oh,
fourth
that was
leg.
fantastically found. And Thomas Banks gets the break and he leads 3-1.
Thomas O'Connor 40.
To finish his week with a win, Banks
Game shot on the
sinks
match. Thomas
tops
Banks.
to beat Keelan Kay by 4 legs to 1. It was opportunity passed by in the end for the Lord of the Board. But for the Bulldog, well, he finishes with a win. And have a look at that. That's nice to see. A little celebration as he has a chat with Paul Hinks. And those are the averages. 83, 83, 4 out of 8. Credit Kate to the finishing. 4-1. Thomas Banks wins in his final game of the group. Schertz and Murray is the curtain closer on Friday afternoon, and we're going to be watching them two jostle it out when we return. He's not going to do that, and so Jeff Murray comes back for 32. Double 16 to end his campaign with a victory.
Jeff 32.
Not quite been for the man who started the group as the favourite to win it. That's nudged the wire. And he can't find a way through.
98.
Schertz is back for 98 to end his week with a win. He's going to be bottom of the table no matter what. But can he at least finish with some kind of flourish? Winless today. And that record
58.
looks set now to continue. You don't expect Murray to pass up more opportunities. And he won't pass up any more opportunities. Jeff Murray was the favourite to win the group, but he wins our final game to at least give him something to walk back away with. He just missed out on qualification in the end. A 4-3 win against Felix Schertz was insurmountable as far as qualification was concerned. Those two spots went by way of Charlie Large and Nico Blum, who sealed their passages with a couple of games to spare. But in our final match, Murray beat Schertz by 4 legs to 3.
Yeah, thank you very much, Henry. Scott, Jeff Murray came close last time he was here. He's come even closer this time. How disappointed is he going to be?
I think he will be disappointed. He was disappointed this morning with his start yesterday, and he's going to look back and say, you know, that I didn't really hit the ground running. And always difficult when you travel that far. It's a lot more difficult for those players up north. And yeah, that's where he's going to rue his chances yesterday.
Well, let's recap what has happened today. All 15 fixtures completed, and well, Charlie Large, he did what he needed to do from the start of the day, won his first 3 matches, picked up a 4th win as well at the end there to win the group. Pretty much a perfect day for him.
Yeah, did everything he needed to do right from the get-go, didn't he? He was right from the off, got that first game under his belt. Probably a nice game for him to have, first game Felix, who really didn't find his feet yesterday, and to start today having Charlie, it was a difficult one to have to deal with, but Charlie gets through it, and then that set him up for the rest of the day, really.
Yeah, it was Nico Blum that went through with him, and he qualified in quite typical style, didn't he, Nico Blum? Good chat with him on the balcony. He loves using the bullseye, and he used it in that 82 checkout to get the one leg he needed, as it turned out, in that match.
He got a little nervy towards the end. I know he's quite a flamboyant character, and he showed that it was a lovely shot to get the leg that he needed, but he had chances in the game before that to have it done and dusted, and it was tense, nervous headache for him. It was a bit shaky, and he didn't finish it as early as he could have done.
And it must be a strange situation to go into a match knowing you don't actually need to win the match, you only need one leg.
Yeah, that can be a fear. You know, we were talking about, you know, the Grand Slams on this week, and I've been in a situation there with the Grand Slam where you need certain things. You've just got to get your head down, not think of the situation, and play a game of darts. You want to win every game, and that's just the only way to play it. You've got to get your head down and not worry about other scenarios, because once you start thinking, oh, I need a leg, then when you get to the double on that leg, well, the arm goes tight, the shoulder comes in, the knee starts trembling where you're standing, and you can cause yourself all sorts of problems. So try and take that out of the equation, try and win the game, and don't just go for the one leg.
Yep, he got the leg that he did need. Charlie Large got the victory he needed to ensure that he not just qualified but won the group as well. He needed to get 2 legs in that game. So just after Nico had qualified, Large did that to assert himself as the winner of the group.
Yeah, and as you just saw at the end of the shot there, the biggest smile of the week, I think. You know, he's then started to enjoy after that, and quite rightly so. He deserves his place in the Saturday night final. Yeah,
he is top of the group. He's won it. It's his first time on that stage in Portsmouth. That fantastic victory to get there against Nico Blum in the end. What's it going to be like for Charlie Large in front of his home crowd? He's a young lad. He'll have plenty of support, friends and family. He'll want to make sure he has more results like that and more performances like that.
Look, so far it's been a week of learning, and I know how that feels, because Lakeside, for me, I was one of the closest players to Lakeside, and that first Lakeside, when everybody came up and there was tables and tables there to see you, there's a different pressure that comes on yourself of you not wanting to let them down. And you don't think like that as a dart player in an empty room, or you don't think like that on a Monday night when you're playing in the league. So it will be a very different situation for him. Great one for him to learn and understand at the age that he is now. Don't wait till you're 37 and 38 like I was. You're too long in the tooth by then. It's good for him to be experiencing it now right here on his own doorstep. He'll enjoy it. He has to go into it really enjoying the idea of being here. Not go into it thinking that he can win it immediately. Just go into it and enjoy the occasion, but concentrate at the same time.
Well, winning the group should give him some confidence. Here is confirmation of the final Group C table. And just a reminder, Scott, Charlie Large, 16 points, just 2 defeats. He was a rank outsider in this group.
Absolutely, 7-1. If anybody backed him yesterday morning at that before we started, they'll be happy people right now.
And missing out Jeff Murray, we mentioned it before, on leg difference. How disappointing must that be?
Yeah, missing out on leg difference is just, you then start to look back and analyse. I'm sure he'll jump on, go, what could I have done here? What could I have done there? The impressive thing for me was the way that he came back after the disappointing start yesterday. Very easy for him to have folded and gone, do you know what? It ain't my day again. And he didn't do that. He battled to the bitter end. And I don't think that's the last we'll see of Jeff Murray here.
Well, let's just zoom out and look at the week as a whole. We have now 3 players through to finals night, Large and Blum, joining Thibaut Tricol, the winner of Group A. You'd have to say that at the moment, until the Group B players are put in, it's fair to say that Thibaut will be a firm favourite. Yeah,
absolutely. But we saw last night in Group B that they're quite happy to rumble with each other, and the big shot-outs come. The big averages were coming last night, and we're going to see some more of those tonight. You know, this is a really good group. It's a really tough group, and the guys last night just applied themselves amazingly. So I don't think that group's done yet. You know, Jared's got to come in and do exactly the same as Charlie Large did today and assert himself early doors on that group.
Well, let's just show you what the group standings are like before tonight. Jared Cole, as Scott just mentioned, 4 wins from 4. Probably just 1 win away. He might be through, but who knows? Harry Ward will feel like he's in a good spot as well. But the early matches are going to matter. If Willie Borden can put a gap between himself and Rob Grundy, it's a long way back for Grundy and Smith.
It is indeed. It's a long way back for Grundy and Smith. But for me, Danny has a chance to play the role of the spoiler. He was pretty unlucky to go through without a win last night. The averages that he was doing, the way that he was playing, I think he will come here, knowing Danny like I do, and for as long as I have, he'll be happy to come here as the spoiler tonight and really put the cat amongst the pigeons.
And if anybody saw how the first half of the night in particular went last night, you don't want to miss it. Looking forward to it?
Absolutely. Can we do it now?
Yeah, well, we'll wait a few hours yet. We're back on air at 10 p.m. live on Sporty Stuff TV here in the UK and for viewers around the world on the MODUS Super Series YouTube channel when the final 3 finals night places will be filled. We'll see you then.